Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another logic video. It's Jimmy, back again. Today we're going to be talking about the subject of stop motion. I'm sorry if a lot of our requests are backed up. Recently I've had a bit of a surge of inspiration to talk about animation, because I feel like it's something people don't really address very often. But I wanted to talk about how to create stop motion. We will be getting to some of the other things people have asked for. We've got a lot of requests. Quite a few of them are piled up, so we're sorry if it's taking a while. But we're going to be using the action recorder again. I think it's the best way to do stop motion personally. Now you can use a keyframe, a simple keyframe. It's just, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult and less efficient than using the action recorder. So we're just going to go straight to the action recorder here in the Animate tab. I'm also going to maybe stamp out a microchip. We're going to use grid snap so that it won't be all wonky. We're basically going to use this as a post for our animation experiments, as it were. Maybe stamp out a timeline, set it to loop in case we want to test anything. You can open it with L1 and X. Now let's stamp out an action recorder with X. We're going to be using keyframe mode. And I'm going to start by turning off her movability and collidability. Then we're going to grab her with the first frame. That's going to be her position. Then we're going to scope in with L1 and X. And we're going to create a base animation for all of her limbs so that when we want to move them later, they'll be keyed in properly. Pardon me, madam. Just gotta get to those parts that are important. And keep in mind, this animation is going to be, not highly intricate. I'm trying to find her neck. Does she even have one? I'm positive she must have a neck somewhere. Let me turn this on, invisibility. Her neck's probably invisible. Yeah, there's her neck. Probably not going to be using it too much. But there's our first frame, and I'm going to open up our action recorder real quick with L1 and X to show you this timeline. Use X to pull it down and make it larger. Alternatively, there will also be a bar to the side. If you pull it down, you can see the bar. Allows you to scroll up and down and look at it. I've already talked about action recorders, but I want to briefly go over it again. Just briefly. This shows all the different areas that are currently controlled by the animation. Anyway, let's get down to business. We're going to move this ahead, and I'm going to talk about something that'll make stop motion much easier. Let's go ahead and copy out this frame and turn that one off. Copy with L1 and R2 if you're interested. But if you, stop motion frames are incredibly difficult to create, so I'd have to move this forward, just a little bit to create a new frame. Move it forward a little bit more. Move her arm back. But there's our first 2 frames, and does it really look like stop motion to you? Not to me. Now there is another way, which is if you double tap, you'll see these different animation modes in here. There's smoothing. Smoothing, though, will just make it look smoother. Still won't really make it look like stop motion. But the blend type, that's something that can change it. Also, you can set it to blending off. It's another method. When you're recording, anyway. But this is a good way to set the blend type as well. Let's go ahead and double click. We're going to go ahead and put this on loop. And we'll slow it down. We might want to turn off our fall animation. Just turn off the power real quick. Matter of fact, we might turn off our poses as well. Doesn't really look like stop motion though. And that's the point I am getting to. I do want to try, though, a few other options just to go through them all. There's more blend types than just that one. You can also turn off smoothing. Now that looks more like stop motion, doesn't it? The issue is all those frames, you know, recording each one, that's like so arduous. I want to see the end, you know, where she's finished walking. It's just going to be so hard for me to imagine what this is going to look like complete. Well, I have good news. There is a way to kind of cheat and make this easier on yourself, which I am going to demonstrate, of course. Now, what you want to do is, since we are working with keyframes, anyone familiar with animation knows that keyframes are the key movements of an animation, not every single animation in between. Now, this is where things get interesting. If we make just the key movements, we can go in later and add the little details. So I'm going to create an animation of some kind. I'll do her staring and lifting her hand to look at something. She is very well blessed. But we can have much bigger gaps now because of this realization we've come to. Now this is a halfway decent animation in and of itself, you know, if you wanted to just make it regular and not stop motion. But I'm going to show you how to make it even better and make it stop motion. One thing, though, I would advise is go to each one of these frames. Since they are the key frames, let's use the minus remove time, kind of pull it back a little bit. But since they are key, I would advise touching every single segment that is going to be involved here. Basically every segment that you had in the previous key. So that means all the legs, everything. You might be able to leave out the legs, honestly, though. Just the upper half, make sure you key in all this stuff. Just grab it with L2 slightly, don't move it around much. I'll show you why. Basically, It makes it easier if you alter things. It won't screw up the overall animation as much if you have these basic, like, definitely this arm is here at this point. So that if you change it later, it won't get messed up. It's something you kind of get used to if you mess around with keyframes a lot. It's something they do. I don't know why they do it, but it's something that happens. Anyway, that's the animation. So, all we're going to do is move it forward. Just tap a few things. And we're going to create an animation. And if your puppet happens not to have many body segments, that also helps. If you're stop motion animating a spider, you have my pity. Which luckily I have never had to do myself. Just move the playhead forward a little bit. And just grab these things with R2, I mean not R2, L2. And you can kind of see the progress we're making. It is a little difficult if you move the playhead too far, you know, to get it. And if you move the body parts too much, it can also cause issues. But we've got a good setup going. And if you press next footage, you can precisely find the ones you need. I also might pull this up with X just to grab all these animations at once and move them forward slightly just so we're a little more, you know. I want this to be as compact as possible. Okay, next. Move it ahead. R2, grab it all. This will be a little time-consuming, but it's not nearly as bad as if you tried to animate the entire sequence not knowing what's going to come next, and maybe occasionally moving things too far, or, you know, making it look a little janky. So we have it a little easier than the real stop-motion animators, who are highly skilled people, in order to be able to do this without even knowing, you know. I mean, they probably have some kind of guide, but it's a little bit more difficult, I would say. Alright, move it ahead just a little bit. Grab with L2. All the reasonable areas. Move it ahead a little bit. Grab with L2. It would be kind of neat to make an entire stop-motion animated film in Dreams. That's for somebody far more patient, though, than myself. Could move it just a little bit. Oh, man. This is the difficulty. There we go. Sometimes moving the playhead precisely can be difficult. And you want to keep an eye on the space between frames. Because when this is fully finished, it's going to be moving much quicker. We might be able to correct this. I'm going to move this ahead just a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to animate a frame. And pull this back so that it's a little bit more compact. We also might move this one forward just a bit so that it's more evenly spaced. Again, grab all the frames. Move it ahead a little bit. See how far we're moving. That might be too small. Let's move it just a little bit more. It's going to be fun to see what this looks like when it's fully finished. Probably won't look super great, because again, you kind of have to have, you know, you get in what, you get out what you put in, I should say. The more effort you expend on making an animation look good, the better. Left heel. It's interesting. Alright, we're getting very, very close to the end. Seeing it all come together will be quite something. Of course, the neck's not getting much work. Alright, and we're going to move this ahead slightly. And we're going to try to space these more evenly, closer together. I want there to be little room for error. Alright, so our animation should be complete. One thing we're going to do real quick is turn off the blend type. And we're going to try that type. I don't know what that type is called, but you know what it looks like, so you're good. And we're going to set this to loop. I guess we could put it on the timeline, but I don't know, just leaving it here will be fine. Now that doesn't really look like stop motion at all, so let's double tap and try again. Let's try that type. Now there is stop motion. Not bad, huh? And you can clearly tell it, you know, it's different from what the other characters have. A lot more stuttery. It's pretty cool. Now, it's still going to take a while, but I feel like this method is a lot faster than the normal method. And with it, you could string together long animations and potentially create an entire sequence or movie with this. And you could have, you know, characters use it, like if you want to have a stop-motion video game, you could have every animation the character carries out operate this way. I think it's pretty keen. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions or further requests about this sort of thing, we would be interested in hearing them.
Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. That's all for now. Goodbye.